Okay. Thanks, man.
I'm so proud.
Sid Graff, man. I love this guy. He sat on a webinar with me one night, just him and I on Zoom in 2016, and walked me through just systems in the business. And although I aspire to have my act together like him one day, he walked me through some stuff that seemed impossible to me at the time. And you get stuck in these beliefs. If anybody's ever heard the saying, if you want something right, you got to do it yourself. Well, that's a saying that comes from a certain criteria of people who actually believe that, and then you can start to believe that. So that's what I want to talk about today, is literally you can pull your hair out in frustration and belief that you're trying to do everything yourself. And this talk is about hiring remote employees, freelancers, and virtual assistants in your business, because there's literally a new reality. There's a new reality and there's a new way, and it's been here for 5 to 7 years now. And the people that don't adopt these new ways and tap into these new tactics and principles, they'll literally find themselves extremely frustrated in the next 5 years. And I don't want that to be you, because service business owners, there's something called cross-pollination. When you take information or technology from one industry where they've rose to like a level 10 and that, decades and decades and decades of work, then you have a completely different industry who knows nothing about the information over here. When you cross-pollinate that information and that technology, you can get these emergent properties, they're called. You basically can find hacker cheat codes in your service business that people are using in different industries. You might have seen it by, if you pay attention to Sid or Joshua Latimer or some of these other guys that have gotten deep into internet marketing. They're learning how to build funnels and do all this complex stuff with running ads, and they figured it out. I've watching these guys like Brandon Vaughn, if you follow him. They can start a service business, plug in some systems from people who have already figured it out, and then just get these awesome results very quickly because of cross-pollination. So this journey that I've been on and the things that I've learned through tremendous failure, frustration, heartache, it's taken me way too long. I want to share with you because maybe you can take some of this stuff home and plug it into your business. And so when I say hiring remote employees, what are you talking about? This is the type of business we're in: soft washing, pressure washing, window cleaning, landscaping. We do tons of that. The physical labor of having employees, that's the one bottleneck that's left, is the labor. You can actually start to dematerialize and outsource everything else in your business. Like, you know what I'm talking about, the last 3 years, we've seen it. We've seen all these buildings emptied, people working from home. It seemed impossible before. If you read the books like The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, you'll see that guy figured out how to outsource and dematerialize his business so he could be gone. Like right now I have guys on a job site working in Michigan, and then I have 10 to 12 virtual assistants working part-time on various different projects, and the ball is being moved forward in all these different projects. We've had up to 28 people working all at one time. Seemed impossible to me before. One quick note, I was trying to plug in my laptop to Wi-Fi hotspot, and my Google Chrome browser had already been logged into everything I wanted to show you. So we're not going to have any of that. I'm just going to walk you through it. That's what I was doing before. But I'll be able to translate all of this to you very clearly. And if you have any questions at the end, I would love to open up a Q&A and talk about it, because I really want you to get this stuff. One moment here. Everybody doing good? How many people flew here? Oh, that's like more than how many people drove here? Oh, that's about 50-50. How many people drove more than 8 hours? More than 10? More than 12? Where'd you drive from? Where? California? This guy, a round of applause. Dude, there's so many people at this event as I was walking around that the knowledge, wisdom, experience, and just straight up cold suffering that people have gone through to grow and build their businesses and all come together as a community, an event like this. I mean, there was events back in the day, of course, all the way back to the 50s. I mean, to the beginning of time. But now you can literally get in and plug in. For me, it was about letting my ego down and putting my pride aside and starting to plug into the guys who just had the answers and stop trying to figure it all myself, and to make a plan and to drive and fly across the country to a place like this and actually plug in and be a student. That's the things that move the needle forward and get it done. And it's just amazing what we have here. So, all right, you have to get to the point where you finally realize and accept as a concrete reality that if you're trying to learn how and trying to do it all yourself, then it's literally never, ever going to get done. Period. And I want you to get out of the gray area. So we pontificate this bullshit in our heads that, oh, maybe Friday I'll find the time to, well, I have a whole laundry list of things. Build your website, work on your Facebook ads, dial in your Google ads, all the things that need to be done in marketing, door hangers, flyers, business cards, all of this stuff. Maybe you want to get into influencer marketing one day and start your own podcast or YouTube channel. You've been excited about that, but you just can't find the time to do it because it doesn't make you money. So we keep becoming very frustrated and banging our heads against the wall, trying to do it ourselves. I've stayed up entire weekends, handcuffing myself to the computer, multiple pots of coffee, till 9 o'clock in the morning, trying to buckle down and build my own WordPress website. I've spent $20,000 in Facebook ads courses, Google ads, YouTube courses. You learn a lot from that stuff. It's part of you is saying that, how do you have enough bandwidth to do all this yourself, plus run your service business and manage your employees and the payroll and the time and keep all the clients happy and have a, pardon my French, but a fucking personal life? You try to do all this yourself and you do it long enough, you end up totally burned out. You wake up one day and you look in the mirror, deep bags under your eyes, and now you're depressed. I'm not trying to get too dark here, and I don't want anybody to raise any hands, but if you've been in the business at least 5 years in your own service business, you know what it's like. It's right around that 5-year mark. It's that itch that you get, like, what did I get myself into? This is impossible. And you're banging your head against the wall. There's this book called Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Howard Johnson. And he talks about how you can put mice in a maze and there will be a piece of cheese and they'll find it and they'll start eating it. What happens when the cheese is gone? Well, in short, they realize that it's gone and they go look other places for cheese. Human beings have this problem where if there's no more cheese left, we keep banging our head against the wall saying, where's the cheese? Where's the cheese? Where's the cheese? The cheese is gone. We don't know how to accept that. And so we literally do that until we starve to death in some areas. So I live and breathe this stuff. I mean, literally woke up in 2016. Is my wife in here? I don't want to put her on the spot, but, frustrated at the point of like, if you don't spend more time with me, I don't want to be with you type shit. And when you feel like you're trying your hardest and nothing's working, you literally become forced, your back's against the wall, to find different ways. So that's when you become a student. All right, so you have this dream of living an amazing life and your business giving you all the freedom that you always thought it would give you, being able to go camping and go on those trips and go on vacations and literally be happy. And you see some of these other business owners on the internet have that. But you're so stuck in the day-to-day, when you come back down to reality, there's all these tasks in front of you that have to get done or your business will literally fall apart. Because you go to work to create structures and you create value that flow cash. If you want to grow at all in any sense of the term, you have to create structures that create value for other people that flow cash to pay for your life and pay your bills. When I say the word structures, what I mean is it's a structure that's independent of you. This is literally a transformation in your consciousness of feeling like you build your whole business around you, so all the arrows are pointing at you, and if something needs to get done, it's dependent on you. So you basically build a job for yourself and you build a trap for yourself. And now you become totally trapped. I don't want to talk about traps too long. I want to get to the solution. But when I say structure, what I'm talking about is you build a structure that's independent of you and separate from your identity. There are people that have businesses that emotionally they're not entangled and attached to it. It's literally just a structure they built and it flows them an extra 20 grand a month. And they're like, it's just normal. They're not like obsessed with it and staying up all night freaking out about it because they built a structure. If you can really get this and understand this, it's very freeing. That's an hour-long conversation right there. Okay, so here's some of the things that you can delegate, and I'm going to tell you stories to help your mind get through each one so then you can go out and do some of the stuff. Some of the stuff you might already know, but some of it you don't.
More of the Untrapped podcast right after this.
Hey, my friend, it's that time of year again, the 2022 Equip Expo, formerly the GIE Expo, the biggest green industry event in the country each year in Louisville, Kentucky. This October 18th through 21st, you can get 50% off your tickets if you go to keithkalfas.com/events, click on the Equip Expo link, and use promo code KEITH50 to save 50% off your tickets. Make sure you get your tickets right away and book your hotel right away too, because this event, thousands and thousands of people come, and it definitely sells out every year. You won't be able to get a hotel room if you book too late. So go to keithkalfas.com/events and go to Equip Expo and use promo code KEITH50 to save 50% off your tickets. And I will see you October 18th through the 21st in Louisville, Kentucky.
This is Untrapped with Keith Kalfas.
Because I didn't know any of this stuff. Okay, website building, posting on social media for your business, like constantly and consistently on a schedule, writing articles and starting a blog for your business, the bookkeeping and keeping all your books managed. Before I hired a bookkeeper, Dan Plata from Blue Sky Services, they do all our bookkeeping for both my businesses. Literally, I felt stupid because my QuickBooks looked like a tornado had hit it. And I felt dumb because I'm making these YouTube videos talking about how to get your landscaping business to 100K and all this, and my freaking books are a mess. And I felt so frustrated by that, and I kept trying to do it myself. Then I'm sitting down on QuickBooks at 10 o'clock at night, dinner's cold, my wife's like, hey, it's date night. I'm like, I gotta get these books done. What goes? The books go. You don't get your books done if you don't spend time with your family. So then you realize I'm just never gonna get my books done. You come to these beliefs that it's just never going to get done. The next thing is running payroll. Trying to run payroll yourself. We've done that. It was a nightmare. Finally hired a company, an accountant. If maybe you do want to launch that podcast, and setting up and running Facebook and Google ads and overall administration in your business. Does anybody here have a fully systematized business where everything's super dialed in? And you just focus on marketing and innovation? Raise your hand. Brian Haggerty? He does. You do? Good for you. And I want to ask a couple questions so I can dial in. There's a stage one business where basically we call it, for lack of a better word, like chucking a truck, where you're literally wearing all the hats and doing everything. You might have a helper working with you, but it's a pretty small business. Anybody there? Nice. And a stage two business would be you have employees and you could be partially out of the field, but now you're managing and you're delegating to other people. Yeah, stage two business. Okay. Is anybody out of the field here? Okay. Nice, good. What's that? You say out of the field? Out of the field, like, yeah? All right, very good here. And does anybody here have any interest in actually building a personal brand or starting a YouTube channel or influencer marketing? Okay, very nice. Okay, so here's all of the stupid thoughts and the dumb solutions that we've gone through to try to figure this stuff out. Of all the things that need to get done to build all these structures so you can flow more cash and have more freedom, you need people and software and systems, things like that. Well, it does start with people. Number one stupid idea, thinking you're going to hire your niece or nephew for $10 an hour that they could come over on the computer and post stuff on social media for you or help you in your business, or the neighborhood kid. That's some of the stuff that I hear. Those are stupid thoughts. And why is that funny? This millennial culture, I think I'm actually a millennial. My cousin Nathan, he's 21 now. This kid's just literally moved to Texas yesterday, and he got a job at friggin' Goldman Sachs, making 120 grand a year to start. The kid's brilliant. So when he was like 17, 18, I brought him over to our condo. I was like, bro, can you help me edit these videos and do this and post on social media? I'm like, dude, I'll pay you $15 an hour. I'll pay you cash bonuses. And within an hour of conversating, he's talking about, well, how soon can I make 10 grand a month? And I was like, what's going on here? It's like, and he wasn't qualified at all for the position. Not that because he's not smart or anything, or I was trying to discredit him. But then we tried our niece, Aurora. She's like 19 years old. She's wicked smart. And then we had her helping with the business and posting on social media. And then every time something happened, she's very smart. she just kind of stopped doing it because she was just doing it for some extra cash. And it was like this frustrating thing because every time we built this out and we tried to like have people help us do all the tasks that needed to be done in the business, we were looking for the wrong people. There's an amazing book I want you to remember or write it down called Who Not How by Dan Sullivan from The Strategic Coach on audible.com, or you can get the book. The book will change your life because you're looking for the who's. Okay, number 2, pontificating that there's got to be someone somewhere who wants to make a few extra bucks. Somebody. So if it doesn't work when you try people or the wrong employees or the wrong assistants and they don't work, then you start looking outward with the same paradigm going, there's got to be someone somewhere who wants to make a few extra bucks. I've heard some of this crap with some of our landscaping and window cleaning clients. Like, they're still stuck in the paradigm that they think that, well, I got to find some kid to do my landscaping. Or it's like, well, you're definitely not even our client. How did we even get on the phone with you? You know what I'm saying? Because they're just not the right customer. Just like your internal customers, which are your employees and your assistants, they have to be the right people. Number 3, trying to put the turd on someone else's plate. I heard a horrible saying once that if you want to become really successful, you got to find out how to put the turd on someone else's plate. It's a horrible, memorable thing, and I've become a delegator to where we have obviously people working in the service business. We have a house cleaner that comes and cleans our house every week, and we have obviously I'm a landscaper, people who cut our grass, and I'm now become obsessed. We're like, what can I outsource to free up my minutes? Can we have meal delivery service? We had this chef's kitchen that was delivering the food. I thought because I'm an entrepreneur, it makes me not have to do housework and help out around the house. I'm like, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm too busy for that stuff. We'll just hire someone to do that. And I realized that you still have a bunch of stuff that you have to do. And my wife, one day there was a bunch of dishes in the sink. She's like, you're not going to put that turd on my plate. So I think about that and that's burned into me. But trying to put the turd on somebody else's plate means, what if somebody already works for you or you already know somebody and you're like, well, I could just have them do this thing too. Well, they're already busy climbing up and down the ladder or working for you or they're in the office working, and now you're trying to pile more work onto them. You're just going to frustrate them, and you're going to eat up all their bandwidth, right? So we had these conversations. I had these 2 different friends, DJ Carroll, he's a very intelligent guy, and David Carroll, the founder of Dope Marketing. This guy's like got 2 $5 million businesses. And he says that when he hires somebody, he hires them for one specific role in one specific business, because you might think that, oh my God, I can have this person do all these things. And he'll literally tell a person that works for them, listen, I'm crazy. I have so many ideas that I will literally give you more and more stuff to do if you show you can handle it, and we'll keep building out your position. So you have to tell me to stop, because you can literally pile so much on people's plates that you'll run them off and they'll burn out and they'll quit. So you got to be very careful about that. And my friend DJ Carroll on the other side, we were talking about this because he hires these virtual assistants and freelancers as well. And one day I told him, like, I have 20 virtual assistants. And he goes, what? He goes, well, I have like 3 and they do a bunch of different stuff. I'm like, well, I just have different ones that do a bunch of different things. Every different type of thing, from graphic design, from web to Google ads, like you have all these different virtual assistants that do only those specific things. You don't pile it all on one person. So when you get into this, because this is the stuff that will give you the freedom so you can relax with your family, because all this stuff will be getting done on autopilot. This is very important. I want you to remember what I'm talking about when I'm saying here. Super dumb idea. Don't try to put the turd on someone's plate who doesn't want to do that thing, doesn't like doing that thing, hates that thing, and doesn't even have the skills, because the result that they're going to produce is going to be horrible, right? Number 4. Trying to abdicate the work to someone who, obviously, worst of all, sucks at it. I just covered that. I think I have about 17 minutes here, and I want to get to the solution. When you finally discover the solution of hiring these virtual assistants to help you in your business, that's where the real work starts. We found something, and I wanted to show you on the laptop, but I can't now, but I could talk about it very clearly. It's called Upwork.com, and there's a bunch of different freelance websites, but there's Upwork. There's Fiverr. People have heard of this. And I'm really on Upwork right now, and I'm plugged in. And there's these virtual assistant freelancers that are experts at what they do all across the board. There's probably tens of thousands of them. And you can organize the criteria, define the ones that are exactly, hyper-specifically what you need help with. So I want you to create a membership on Upwork.com. I think it's free, actually, until you start to really graduate into the program. And it's just Upwork.com, and then you can find a freelancer. I've gotten to the point, if I need an adjustment on my website, sure, it only takes 30 minutes, but nothing ever takes as long as you think it's going to take. My wife has a social media marketing agency, and she has clients, and she has this nonprofit organization. My wife's very smart at this stuff. She's an excellent copywriter as well. We've literally spent, we've got 8 or 9 hours into trying to upload one video to Facebook, because the video we filmed for this nonprofit organization, there was shaky, so we had to stabilize the footage. And then we tried to transfer it on Google Drive, and it kept failing, and then it finally processed, but it was a broken file, so it wouldn't upload. That she's literally almost banging her fist on the desk because somebody on the outside would be like, "What are you talking about? It takes 10 minutes. I do it on my phone all the time." There's all these technical issues that you run into that can sequester all your time. So when you find people that are experts at doing all of those things, and they do that all the time, a freelancer, like someone on Upwork.com, that's all they do is build websites every day, all the time, and they have 5 or 10 clients of their own. You could become one of their best clients. I literally hop on my phone on Upwork, and I go to my web guy. "Hey, can you do this adjustment on my website? Here's a screenshot." I'll do a voice memo, send it to him. He's smart. Boom. Then 24 hours, it's all fixed on my website. Whatever I need done is done. If my podcast is completely automated 100%, we just cross 500,000 downloads, and we get 4,000 downloads per episode. And my podcast on the digital marketing side is probably making me, I can't track the podcasting, but just say 50,000 extra per year in revenue. And it's 100% completely automated. If I never even looked at the podcast or uploaded anything or did anything at all, it would just keep working. That's another hour talk. But you can hire a podcast producer, and you can literally take out your phone and record your whole podcast in your car while you're driving once a week. And then you just send it to the producer, and they can add, the music. They can pump up the sound. We're on 16 different podcast platforms, from iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Spreaker, SoundCloud, Anchor FM, all of them. And they'll write copious amounts of very specific show notes and put all the tags and titles and keywords specifically. And then also, I have another virtual assistant that takes the podcast and goes and cuts it up snippets and shares it on Instagram and Facebook and shares it all over the place with show notes. And it's literally 8 to 12 pieces of content per day being pumped all over the internet, nonstop, whether I pay attention to it or not. And all I'm doing is making 1 to 2 pieces of content per week. And then everything's getting chopped and screwed all over the internet. I hired a Pinterest marketing manager, and for the past 6 months, she's been creating, we have, another 400,000 views on Pinterest because she's putting content all over Pinterest. Now back to the service business specifically, Google ads and Facebook ads. The last guy that was speaking here before me when I came in, a very smart guy, a service business from Charlotte, he was breaking down how he runs ads and figure out the customer acquisition cost and how much does it cost you if you run ads, Google pay-per-click or Facebook, to get new soft washing and pressure washing clients. Very good stuff. And I had this question, where do you find the time to do all that? Has anybody ever messed around with ads? Yeah? Okay. Since 2016, I've taken 15 different courses on ads. I've taken 11 Facebook courses, Facebook ads courses, and got certified, 3 certifications for Facebook ads, and I still suck at Facebook ads. Yeah, people think they know because they're boosting posts, and this is all old news, but I'm talking, I can pull up my Facebook ads platform. We have 160 different ads. Everything is tracked with the Facebook pixel down to the page. Copious amounts of fucking data. And it's a full-time career just trying to do Facebook ads. Because you have to be in there and on top of it every day. Same with Google ads and pay-per-click and YouTube ads. If you're not tracking everything scientifically, you're basically just pissing money away. And if you don't pay attention, you'll just blow $4,000 and now your stomach's in a pit. And you got to pay that $4,000 or they'll shut your whole account down. I don't know what will happen. So I went to work and I find a Facebook ads guy. I thought he could do Google ads too, but I realized he sucked. So I got a Facebook ads guy and a Google ads guy. So you think because when I said the real work starts and you hire people, and then you realize that they lied to you and they suck and they're billing you and they might be actually really smart, but they don't understand your business at all. There's all these things that you learn, and that's where the real work starts. So you can find all of these people on Upwork.com. Just trust me, make an account and literally go, and I spend 15 minutes a night. I had to get to the point where I was so frustrated that, like I said in the beginning, it will never, ever, ever get done if you don't realize that you can't do it and you have to hire someone else to do it. So I got to the point where I'm hiring 3 people to do the same task or for the same position because I already know I'm going to fire the other 2 that don't work. So you're throwing mud at the wall to see what sticks. I want to talk about real quick, there was an example of Jill's office. So they're not virtual assistants. They're an actual business that has, as you could say, they're not freelancers. Basically, if you're having problems answering the phone in your service business and you're literally handcuffed to the phone and you're pulling your hair out and you keep telling yourself you're going to do it, then you got missed calls and you're losing money. And then some people's in the service business like, oh, my wife answers the phone, stuff like that. Like my wife answers the phone in my business and does billing and invoicing when we get really busy, and she's phenomenal at it, and she doesn't mind doing it. But some businesses, some husband-wife teams, that doesn't work at all. They got totally different careers. But when we hired Jill's office, I was so incredibly frustrated because I was missing so many calls. We were in the middle on closing on our house, and I had like 65 missed calls. When I said you have to get to the point where you realize and accept that it's not going to change unless you do something, I was like, I realized I was a control freak, and I was like, I'll just give this Jill's office thing a try because it's just not going to get done. So I'll just give them a try. So I called Jill's office up and I put in my credit card number and I get a membership with them. And I thought that they were just going to answer the calls and everything was going to work, but it wasn't working. They're like, no. You have to fill out all this information and create scripts. Like scripts. Yeah, we can help you do it with all these prompts, right? Because they've got it systematized and dialed in. They've answered millions of phone calls and they're probably better than you at answering the phone in your own business. Can you believe that? So then I sat down and I was like, the clock's ticking. In the period of like a week, I figured out the scripts, our pricing, square footage for window cleaning, what zip codes. And as you build this working relationship, they're answering the phones and close like, I don't know, $2,600 extra on the first 2 weeks of they answer the phone, schedule it, and close the job over the phone, and literally book it, and all that your employees have to do is just show up and do the work. Done. So that's another way of dematerializing or taking it out of being in-house and outsourcing things. And like I said, we're in a new reality. We're in the future now. You can do that with so many things in your business.
Stick around as Keith returns with more of the Untrapped podcast in just a moment.
Jill's office provides friendly, professional receptionists for small business owners just like you. We can help answer your calls, and we can even schedule estimates and jobs for you. Try Jill's office today and get a $25 discount when you say Untrapped. Just go to jillsoffice.com.
The Untrapped podcast continues.
Trying to run payroll. Hire a company like ADP or Gusto Payroll. Stop trying to do everything yourself. And the thing that was driving me nuts was like, well, I don't have the money to do this. Well, there's going to be a gap. Of course, it's going to cost you money. And I don't know, go like work your tail off and save up an extra 2, 3, 5, 10 grand or whatever it is. And then use that money as runway to go hire those people and then figure it out. You just be logical and practical about it. Let's see. So with that, I think I drove that home enough. The next time there's something repeatedly frustrating you in your business that you can't do and you feel handcuffed, ask yourself who, not how. Stop saying, how can I do this? How the hell am I going to do this? And say, who can help me do this? And find the right people and the right qualified people. My virtual assistants that I pay anywhere from $16 to $150 an hour if they're delivering the value. Like I hired a consultant. We got our entire business up on a platform called Monday.com. It's like spreadsheets on steroids. And we got everything, all the information systematized and all the virtual assistants plugged in. I could see everything all at once. When I first logged into this program, like a monster CRM, It's just a CRM for your business. It was so overwhelming to me. I was like, I can't do all this. I can't do all this. My business was all over the place, and I was running around trying to pick up the pieces. Then I get on this platform that's supposed to tie it all together, so I had this whole cohesive system, and I don't even know how to use that. I was banging my head against the wall. I said, wait a second. I wonder if there's somebody on Monday.com who knows how to do that. So I go on Monday.com. I went through 100 people, narrowed it down to 10, narrowed it down to my 3 top candidates. It took like 2 hours of research. And then I found one specializes in Monday.com. It's kind of like Asana or Trello, or you might have heard of these things. And it's called Process Mapping, Workflow Design. Process Mapping, Workflow Design, Building Systems, Integration, Monday.com, $150 an hour. I was like, okay, this person's got to know something. And all tons of positive 5-star reviews that this consultant has helped all these other businesses and people. Boom, hired. Because I do the math. I say, okay, if this person costs me 10 hours of time at $150 an hour, it's only $1,500. How long is it going to take you banging your head against the wall trying to figure it out yourself when you should be doing closing sales in your business? You could go close $30,000 in sales in 10 hours. Or you could pay $1,500 to a consultant. I get on the Zoom call with the consultant, walks me through Monday.com, and within about 6 hours, we're fully on and integrated, and we had the whole business on there. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Then I took the skill that I learned on Monday.com for me to sit on Zoom with them, and I hired another assistant, to help me do process mapping and workflow design in their business and get them on Monday.com, because I learned that new skill. But this stuff can become an obsession where you can literally be someplace having a fun time, and you're out to dinner with the people that you love, and you realize that you're totally relaxed because, oh my God, we have 20 people doing all these cool things, and you look on your phone, oh my God, they released the new thing and the ads are working, and you get a P&L report from your bookkeeper, you get a report from your Facebook ads guy that the ads are at least fucking breaking even, if you caught that joke. Okay, because you lose a lot of money in ads. But it's amazing, and I can't believe that I grew up poor as dirt, and we had nothing. I had no mentors or any role models or anything like that, and I felt saved when I plugged into this industry, and I met all these cool people who had gone before and done these things that I could learn from, and I'm extremely, extremely humbled, because I have friends that have died from drug and alcohol overdoses and things like that, and been to so many funerals. I'm getting super deep here. And I look around and I go, how the hell we make it out of this? How in the hell did we get here? It's by plugging in and getting the right information and getting around the people and stuff like this. So that was kind of heavy, but yeah, the dream of having your dream business and all that can come true, and you can do the work that you actually love. And if it's just being in the field, because I've been out of the field for like 8 weeks now, and I've been having a lot of anxiety because I realize I'm a control freak and I need to just stay off the job site. And it's amazing. So it's, 1:45? Do I have any time for Q&A or no? A couple questions? What? Yeah.
You have been saying Monday.com. Upwork.com, where you hire virtual assistants.
Yes. So we hired the virtual assistants on Upwork.com, and we integrated the whole business on Monday.com. And there's all these .coms now. Back in the day, they used to suck, and you'd pull your hair out trying to do it all. They have all these amazing platforms and people that know how to use them that can help you, and it's gotten a lot easier. So I think we've got a couple of questions.
So when you hire people, do you tend to look for people who have like similar qualities to yourself that could be like kind of a friend, or do you look for people who maybe have like opposite qualities of yourself so that you can fire them easier if you have to?
Is that a trick question?
That's a serious. Okay. The reason I'm asking is Gary Vaynerchuk once said he's good at firing. He said that the hiring process is a crapshoot. Everybody lies on their resume. Sometimes the people who lie the most can actually be your best employees. You never know. So real question. Like,
yeah,
look for people like
totally.
Like somebody in your mind, like, how do I get rid of this person as fast as possible if I have to get rid of this person?
Yeah, so all that starts way upstream. That was like the best question. I think it's the only question I could take, because now I don't want to go over my time and I want to be respectful. That was a phenomenal question. He asked, do you hire people that you can be cool with and be friends with, or people that are totally opposite that you're not? Like, hire slow, fire fast. There's an amazing book called Top Grading by Brad Smart. Read that. All about hiring and firing. Top Grading by Brad Smart. When I hire people now, I'm talking like, if it's an employee in the field, 40 pages of documents, boundaries are set all beforehand. We're not friends. We might become friends, but it's like, because when people get too close, and even with virtual assistants, and you think that they're your bro, and you start, like, as soon as you blur those boundaries, it gets messy quick. It can get murky.
Yeah, one thing that I've never had any employees from my own business, but I did have a band once. I hired somebody on as a drummer for my band.
Yeah.
They were close friends, and honestly, I put off including them because we were friends. And it was after 2 no-shows, and 2 no-call no-shows, and 2 weeks later, I finally got up the courage, and I was like, hey, how you doing? She's like, that's so great, I just got fired today. I'm like, at least I'm still in a band. I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, it sucks.
Friends and family and all that stuff, and getting too close with people in business, because there's a commercial priority and it revolves around profit, which kind of sucks. And I think the next level of that transcendent is when you are close and friends with people, but you're so raw and real and connected with them. It takes a lot of maturity, which I don't freaking have yet. What's up?
I have a question. Well, it's not really a question. I just wanted to say, I've seen a lot of your videos and like starting out and stuff like that. Like they're really impactful. And I know that takes you a long time, but really do appreciate all of your videos and everything on YouTube.
Thanks, man. It means a lot to me. Yeah. All right. I think that we should wrap this up, and if we want to talk anymore, we can talk out there, because I want to be respectful. But thank you so much for coming to my presentation. Thank you. And I hope you do it. Do that shit.
Hey, I hope you liked the show. And if you like the Untrapped podcast and you get value from it, can you please take a minute and go over to Spotify and leave it a well-worded positive 5-star review. It helps boost the rankings on Spotify so the show can get to more people. Therefore, these messages can get out to more people and inspire more people so that they can go out and start their small businesses and crush it and get to the next level. It's a huge deal. All right, I'll see you in the next show.